Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Kageyama, and I'd like to welcome everyone here to Be Your Own Hero. No matter where you're viewing from, anywhere in the world, we're so happy to have you. Please subscribe, like the video, make a comment if you'd like, and ring the notification bell. Uh, we would really, really appreciate it. Uh, I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving as we have entered the holiday season here in America or wherever you're at. Whatever you celebrate, I hope it's absolutely wonderful. And I am so happy. And I did a video a few videos ago about a big move that we made from California to Texas and had our first grandchild, and things are going really well. Crazy, but they're going really, really well. I'm so excited because I have a good friend of mine on with me today, and I'd like to introduce her to you. Her name is Suzi Jasmine, just an absolutely wonderful person. Suzi, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do.
Hi, Mark. Again, my name is Suzi Jasmine, and I own a wellness center called the Zen Den, and it's just outside of LA with a beautiful 9th-story view of the valley, and it's very peaceful there, and we utilize frequency medicine in the office. And as you know, it is different than most modalities that are out there, and it is a scalar frequency device, which, if you're not familiar with it, it just means that it takes the frequencies that come from the sound, and the scalar pushes it into the cellular system, into the DNA, and makes it even more effective than going to a sound bath or having a massage. It really has been studied for almost 100 years now with Nikola Tesla and Royal Rife and quite a few other frequency scientists that have helped develop this machine. And it was a miracle for me when I tried it, oh gosh, 5.5 years, almost 6 years ago now. It changed my life in 15 minutes, and I decided that that's where I wanted to head because it is just such a profound therapy for mind, body, and spirit, I say. So it's not a necessarily a metaphysical device. It's more scientific. It was studied all around the world with frequencies, and Royal Rife was reversing cancer in USC in the 1940s, and so it deals with all kinds of issues, pathogens, and emotional, and I always say spiritual too, because we are spiritual beings, and so that's what I do, and coaching, life coaching, and things like that along with it.
So how Suzi and I met, this was when I was searching for as many different things that could help me in my cancer journey, and I wanted to treat my whole being, and I was open to discovering things that I didn't understand and didn't know about, and so Suzi, why don't you take it from when I walked into your office? Let's start from there.
Well, when the door opened, you had a cane, and you were very frail, and probably walking, I would say, a half a mile, and like
I couldn't walk the half a mile.
yeah, it was a long journey to get from my front door to the seats that you were sitting in my office, and I saw your spirit, and I knew that this wasn't the end of you because of your vibrant spirit, and takes that to get through. It takes hope and belief and a very strong spirit. And I think you know this about me, that I got into wellness because I had been diagnosed at the ripe old age of 36 with a spinal disease. I don't believe that I have it. I just know that they diagnosed me with it, but I don't label myself with it. And they told me to quit surfing, sell my horses, no more walking, hiking, all that. I was already partially in a wheelchair, walking with a cane by then. And I just, like you, I was determined to find something that was going to help me, and I did. And that led me on this journey to kind of give back, because people don't really realize that the diagnosis that their doctors give, when you hear that, it's very scary. You don't know what to do, but there are people out there willing to help. And I think that this community that you have formed is living proof of that. And so, Mark, we would see him, it was during COVID, right? 21, is that correct?
That's correct.
So nobody was in the office. I mean, my office stayed open, but it was tough. But so we saw you several times a week, and just talking and being connected was, I think, an integral part of your journey as well, connecting with all the people that you've had, brought into your world. And so we shared things, and did, like I said, several sessions a week on you. And the thing I remember most is your really bad haircut. You were doing yourself with something. I even asked you, I said, Mark, who's cutting your hair? And you said, I am. I said, I'm going to get you a flow beat. So
It's funny you mentioned that, because I was desperate to get a haircut in here in Texas, and we've been so busy that I kept putting it off, and it just got to the point where I had to get a haircut. So I found a new hair cutter by the market that I go to, and it's worked out really well. I'm really happy with her, and I was with my last hair cutter for like 30 years, and
wow.
yeah, she was like really sad when I left, but life moves on, and people move, and
Yeah.
and I found somebody new, so I'm really, really happy
I
for
still
that.
think you look great in a ponytail.
No.
I don't
No.
know.
Nah. I'm gonna say never to that one. So
Okay.
yeah, no, that's not in the cards.
Yeah.
But let's talk about what you do. By the way, this woman is got the biggest heart, and she is absolutely wonderful. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping me when I needed it most. I needed people like you, and you are such a wonderful person, and you help me in so many different ways. I mean, your family, we're friends for life, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it. I have no words. So just
Oh,
from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
well, I appreciate you, Mark. You showed me what the will can do. And it gave me hope for my center, especially during COVID, because, it was tough holding it open.
Yeah.
And even after COVID, because people were so afraid to come out, right? And so having you come in and treat you when all that was going on, it made me realize that I needed to do whatever I could do to keep my place open. And, you know, and that's pretty much what led me into doing what I'm doing now, with the frequency work, which is, I'm focused on trauma release, because for every ailment, there's an emotional counterpart, whether it was within our lifetime, um, or in our ancestors' lineage, that has been passed down through the DNA. Trauma affects everybody. And then going through COVID with all these kids and people that were depressed and all this, and me myself, I was going through things as well. And so I was doing all kinds of different work on my Rasha, but I developed a protocol that, really worked for me, and I did it on myself for a few weeks, and it was just an amazing journey. And I said, all right, I'm going to just do this on people that are coming in, new people. We start everyone with trauma release and forgiveness, because that is literally like flushing down all the things that we've accumulated in our cellular system. And it really, what the Rasha does is help to raise the frequency in the DNA so it can call in higher frequency things. It's like, you've heard of like attracts like, right? But we are electromagnetic beings. And it's like a radio station. If you're listening to hard rock, acid rock down here on 80 something point something, and you're like, okay, I'm done with that, it's had a negative influence on my life, I want to listen to Mozart, which is actually really soothing, and it's proven to be beneficial to the mind, body, and spirit. You have to physically turn the dial to change the station, and our bodies are like that also. And so what the Rasha does, through scalar frequency, is it turns the dial in your frequency in through your DNA, helps eventually to expand the telomeres that are the end caps on the DNA, and so even emotionally, it is really making a difference with people that we start, with forgiveness first. And people find after even the very first session of forgiveness that they feel lighter and happier, and they start noticing things around them that they didn't before. And then part of that, what I like to do is to give homework. You know, I coach people. They don't just come in and sit down and plug you into these headphones all over in the sound, and then bye-bye, you go home. I give some homework, and the homework is to focus on gratitude. I give a little book called Finding Gratitude. When they first come in, it's their gift with purchase, if you will, because I find that, when you direct people this way and help walk them through how to find gratitude, that they will start to notice the things around them that maybe they would have just passed over. And as I have said to you before, even sitting on the freeway in traffic, I'm grateful for it. People go, why would you be grateful for traffic? And I said, because I'm always where I'm supposed to be in any given moment, period. And whenever things happen, I just give thanks, because I know that things don't happen to us, they happen for us. And if you can just look through to see the forest through the trees, right? Then your awareness starts to expand. It's not necessarily a metaphysical thing. You know, I personally don't meditate, and people think, wow, you're in that business, you don't meditate. I don't feel it's necessary for me. A lot of people get a lot of good things out of it, but I don't. I kind of regenerate myself on the Rasha, and that's sort of my meditation, and if you will. And so this is very scientifically based therapy.
You bring up some really good points, which I want to point out. right now.
Mhm.
No matter what a person's going through a health journey, it is their personal journey, and you act as a guide through the process. And uh, I love the fact that I think you have absolutely fantastic demeanor. Uh, you just say basically to a person, hey, let's walk together in this journey. Anybody going through a health crisis, cancer included, they have to make it their own experience, their own journey. Because if they feel that it's being forced upon them, then they're going to be resistant to it, and it's not going to be accepted by their being, the way
Right.
it should. And so everybody's journey is different, and that's what they need to embrace and understand, that you have to advocate for yourself. It is
Right.
your journey. When I started my cancer journey, uh, I said, this is my experience, not my oncologist. And they had a point of view, which I needed to find out exactly what I was going through. So I'm thankful to them for doing all the testing and allowing me to find out what I actually had. And then I took that information, and that's when I started branching out and started trying to. I wanted to be like a sponge and absorb as much as I possibly can, because there was so much I didn't know and so much I didn't
Yeah.
understand, and I still don't understand. And what's so important in any aspect of life is getting knowledge on a daily basis and learning. And so that, I mean, Susie, you've been so wonderful. And by the way, I want to mention that this person that you're looking at here is just an absolutely wonderful, wonderful human being. And I'm so thankful to her. I mean, she didn't even know me that well, and she offered to take me to my doctor's appointments when I don't remember what happened there. I had so many things going on, but I don't remember the circumstances. But I remember you saying, "Hey, whatever you need, I'll be willing to help you." And those are the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with in a cancer journey, a heart attack, a stroke, whatever health journey that you go through. You need,
Depression, even, you
yes,
know,
you
even
need
those kind of things.
you need to surround yourself with people that you have confidence in, you believe in, that believe in you, and that want to see you get well. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, thank you so much, Susie.
Trust me, Mark, it was my pleasure because I see you now. Oh my goodness, what a difference. You were so frail, and to know that you just moved to be with a granddaughter that might not have known you otherwise, right?
Right?
That you are the blessing in my life, and I'm all in. I gave up a six-figure a year job to open a wellness center that in the very beginning, I didn't even know what I was going to do with it. It was so funny because I had other modalities, and I was like, health coaching and things like that. When I was in my other business, I was going to health conferences and alternative medicine conferences every weekend. So when I got offered this beautiful office, I
And it
really
is
was.
and it is beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's ninth-story view of the valley. It's beautiful. But yeah, I wasn't really sure what direction I was going to take this in. And so when I got my Rasha, it was like, okay, I got this Rasha. What am I now? What am I going to do? And it, because it had changed my life in 15 minutes, I thought, okay, I'm going to just change the world. But it's got over 2,000 frequencies in it. Like, where am I going to go with this thing? And so I, because of my own traumas that I had PTSD. I had a traumatic brain injury. I had, you know, a lot of stuff that had happened from the time that I was diagnosed with my spinal dis-ease to when I opened my center, that I really, there was, you know, there's a whole host of things that are needed. But what I really found was it's not just doing, listen, if I could give everybody a pill and it would help them, you know, great. And I don't mean a pharmaceutical pill, and I'm not taking anything away from people that are on pharmaceuticals, because if they believe that they need it, then they need it. So, but what I'm saying is, let's say this, if I had a magic wand and I could help everybody that came in, I still feel that it's important to have a communication and develop a relationship with people when they come, because and you know me, I'm like this in the office. I'm not I'm it's like coming to my house. So we're friends, you know, just because you're not well doesn't mean we can't develop into a friendship. And that's more what I'm concerned with, is just being a support system. And then what I do with my Rasha is just part of it. You know, it's a whole host of things. Hand holding at times, listening to what people are going through. I'm part therapist because, you know, or best friend, let's say, you know. So just doing the hand holding work. I'd say 50%, you know, it's just as important. And so that's kind of, maybe I'm not, you know, when you go into a therapist's office, it's very like business like, right? And I always feel at ease. I have felt at ease sometimes going into a therapist's office, and they're always checking the clock, always checking the clock. I allow more than enough time with people because I don't want to cut them off, you know. I don't, oh, okay, well, our time's up, we'll see you next week, you know. No, it's not what I want to do. So you know me, I allow a lot of time and grace for things that come up. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's 50%.
Yes, you
So
do. So let's talk about what you're doing in Hawaii.
oh, okay. I live part-time on Maui, and I have a little office in Makawao. And when the fires came, um, obviously there's a lot of trauma that had happened with people. Even the things that people saw right in front of them, that had happened to other people, it's a lot. They're suffering.
Traumatic.
Yes. And so I just came back from a trip. I went over, I took part of my team over to go help with the release of trauma. And I invited the owners of the wellness centers on the island to come over first, our first day, and they were so blown away. And they said, "You've got to come do it. We're offering you our space, and for you to do the people here." Because you know, I have a home there, but it's not huge, so I needed a bigger place. We had about 16 people at a time that we were able to get in, and they all had amazing experiences. They're clamoring for me to come back. They wanted me to come back right after Thanksgiving. I said, listen, I've got a full practice in, you know, on the mainland. So I said, I've got to kind of ease back a little bit and make sure that my clients here are taken care of. But so I'm going back in January, and we're going to work on a lineage of Hawaiians that go far back, to the queen, to the princess. And we're going to work on the people there. They call them the Kanaka, which is the historic Hawaiian community. And the Kama'aina are the people that are long-term on the island. So we worked on both of them. And my thought was, whether they were directly affected or not by the fire, the whole island was affected,
Yeah.
just from PTSD, you know. And because there wasn't just fires in Lahaina, there were two other fires also in the upcountry and on the south side in Kihei.
Mhm.
And so yeah, lots of trauma. And so we had a lot of success, and built some really good new friendships. And so they invited me back to do that again. So
That's really awesome, and that's
yeah.
beautiful, beautiful work. And you're helping people, and I talk about the way I end interviews is I always talk about how we can help make this world a better place. And
Mm.
that's what you're doing, is you're helping make this world a better place for the people of Maui, the people that you're working with. That's absolutely beautiful. And you're not leaving it to somebody else. You're taking the initiative and doing what you can to help
Doing what I
them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
which
all
is
I
awesome.
can do. It's I'm just coming to offer my assistance. That's it.
Oh,
You know.
and thank you for doing that. That is absolutely incredible. Yeah, because there's so much going on over there in Maui, uh, and so many things, and there's so many theories about what happened. For those of you that have followed this, I've followed it very extensively, so I'm real familiar as to
Yeah.
what's going on. But yeah.
Just so your viewers know, and I told you this in the past, but most of the things that you're hearing is truth.
Hmm.
I hear a lot of people say that it's I don't even like saying the word, but it's you know something that they say is not true, and it is. I've talked to many people that have gone through um, what you're hearing on, not on the news, what you're hearing on social media.
Right, right.
So I want to get that out there.
But the important thing is the work that you're doing to help people. I always end up the videos, each video, with talking about how we can help make this world a better place. And you're a perfect example of how that can be done. You're doing everything that you can to help the people of Maui. And if we all just come together and be nice to each other and help each other and treat each other with respect, and
Kindness.
yes, with kindness, because
Yeah,
what the government is sowing and trying to feed us is not who we are.
right.
They're trying to divide us, and we need to be coming together. We need to be
Right.
coming together as people. And it doesn't matter if you're white, you're black, you're red, green, blue, purple, yellow. The color of your skin makes no difference.
Right.
If you're a human being, and if we can help a fellow human being, that's what it's all about, and that's how we can make this world a better place.
Yeah. Someone once said to me before I opened my wellness center, she's giving me financial advice, and she's like, wow, like it's gonna cost you a lot of money to open this. And she said, why don't you just go sit on the beach on Maui and just retire with your husband? Like, what are you doing? And I said, because what would happen if I did that is every single person that walked by me on the beach or wherever, I would say, oh, they look like they've got this going on or that going on. And I said, with the knowledge that I'd already accumulated, I would feel like I would want to help that person. And so it wasn't an option for me. It really wasn't. And because of what happened to me when somebody gave to me freely of themselves when I was not well, I always remembered that. And I really just wanted to pay it forward, so to speak.
You absolutely do.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, that's why think so highly of you, because you have uh, just a huge heart, which is rare. And yeah, I just wanted to thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have any
That-
final thought you'd like to leave everybody with?
well, I want them to know,
Oh, also please share your information with us, and we will have that in the description and in the comments section as well.
okay, we touched a little on what I do, but I do want people to know that there's so much more to getting better than any type of therapy, including mine, which, when we focus on people as a whole person, emotional, spiritual, physical, I think that's when things really start to kick in. Because a lot of people that seek alternative medicine, as you know, aren't always supported with that.
Mhm.
And because they're in, I think it's out of love and concern, right?
Right.
Because they want you to follow the direction that your doctor's telling you, and the doctors know this, but there's so much more to wellness than just being prescribed treatments. And I think that's partially where I kick in the support for the emotions, as well as what I do with my machine, focusing on gratitude and and being kind to yourself and not labeling yourself. You go to a therapist, the first thing they do is throw a label on you. You're body dysmorphic, you're PTSD or ADD, whatever. Don't label yourself. I have X, Y, and Z. And that was the very first thing when I got my diagnosis with what they believe was a spinal disease. I took the label off, and that also has a lot to do with our cellular system. And so these are the kind of things that I coach people in, how to reverse a lot of things how to undo things that are being done to us through the allopathic system. And nothing wrong with allopathic system. It has its place, but it's not the end all be all, and it's not every part of your recovery. And so I just kind of wanted to go there. My wellness center, as I said before, is outside of LA. I encourage people to Google me. You have to Google the Zen Den Encino, because there are a few Zen Dens, and you can find the testimonials on the reviews. I don't like people to review me. I like them to review their experience, because otherwise they're like, what is this thing and what does it do? So I encourage them to go there. And on Yelp, you can see the office. Somebody just came in and took the most beautiful pictures the other day, and I just saw them. They got put on Yelp, and I was like, oh my gosh, look at those pictures. And she didn't tell me she was doing them, but I got an update saying that somebody posted pictures. So beautiful pictures there, and more reviews. And yeah, if anybody has any questions, they can reach out via Google, Yelp, whatever. And my website is a Zenden Life dot com. Yeah. I get confused with .com and at Gmail. It's like, okay. So yes, a Zenden Life .com, and they can explore more thoroughly what I do, and please feel free to reach out, and I'm here to be a support system. And it's just so wonderful seeing you, Mark, and seeing you do this, and you're paying it forward as much as I ever have done, and maybe more so.
Oh no.
So no, I don't know.
We're not going to argue about that.
But you've got your journey, and I've had mine, and it's all great. And we've both been influenced by the people around us. And I just so appreciate you and your willingness to serve humanity. And I think if everybody did that, it would make this place a lot better than what it is today.
Yes, I agree. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Suzi. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. And if you're interested, contact Suzi, or if you can't get a hold of Suzi, you can contact me and I'll get you in touch with her. But I just want to thank everyone here for joining us at To Be Your Own Hero. And be kind to yourself. Be nice to yourself. And that way, if you can do that, then you'll have the ability to be nice to others as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us here at the Be Your Own Hero. Please like, subscribe, make a comment in the comment section, and we will see you next week at To Be Your Own Hero. Thank you very much.